Hello Yellow class and welcome to Tuesday's home learning. So again, going to start off with our speed sounds. So we're going to have a little quick look. You might want to pause it so that you can go through the sounds and then I will go through a couple with you. Are we ready? Well done. G. W. I. Z. And J. Well done. Right, we've got our tricky words for this week, and our tricky words, you need to make sure that you're practicing those ready for Friday. So we've got the word Mr, MR. We've got Mrs, capital M, and then we've got RS. Half, HALF. Remember the AL and the F are tall and F is also low. Remember we haven't got an R, we've just got that A making that R sound. I, EYE, and again AGAIN. So have a go at practicing your tricky words for today. Now this week we are looking at that ch sound. Now sometimes this ch sound is a little bit sneaky, and lots of the words it's a little bit sneaky in have actually come into our language from the French language. And on your sheet you will see there are some words where this CH is actually making a sh sound, like chef and chalet. And those are words that have come into our language from the French language, which is why they're pronounced slightly differently. Now, you won't find an activity on Phonics Play with this, but what you can do is you can always use Phonics Play to use a different sound if you wanted to go on there today. But today we're looking at this. You've got some words on there. Have a go at reading them, have a go at writing some words, and then maybe you can make your own game where you're using those words, a bingo or a pairs game, whatever you want to do with those. Right. Spelling Shed, all your activities are loaded onto Spelling Shed, so you've got an activity this week for the ch sound and spout in different ways. You've got your S suffix activities and you've also got your tricky words on there. Guided reading, so today when you're reading, your comprehension question says describe the relationship between. So when you're reading a book, try to think about the relationship between the different characters. Counting back in ones. Last week we usually do our counting back when we're doing subtraction, but we didn't, we counted forwards. Count back, so start from 100, count all the way back to 0. Remember when you get to those tens, you jump to the number before, which is something 9 usually, but try to make sure you get the right tens number when you're counting back. Again, this week we are thinking about multiplication. That multiplication sign means lots of. Okay, and it's similar to our repeated addition. So we're adding up, and instead of having to write a really long sum out, we can use that multiplication symbol to say, I've got 24 lots of 5. We can work it out in that way. So we were imagining that we were the owners of a fruit shop, and yesterday we started with the bananas. Now we're not going to ignore the apples, but sometimes our 5s is a little bit more tricky for us. So today, if you want to carry on with the 2s, that's absolutely fine. I don't mind. When you've done a few of those though, have a go at the 10s today. 10s are trickier when you're drawing them, but not actually for us to work out because most of us can count in 10s. Again, couple of dice, roll your dice, good mental addition. Oh, I've got a 2 and a 5, 2 and 5, 7. So I'm going to do 7 lots of 10. 7 times 10, okay? Now, again, I might know that answer in my head. That's absolutely fine. Some of us might know that because we've already been learning these in school. Some of us might count up, and be honest if you've counted up. There's nothing wrong with it, but don't say you did it in your head. When you say you did it in your head, that means you went 7 tens and you knew the answer straight away. Counting up, 10, 20, 30. So just be clear about which way you work them out. Again, you might want to draw a diagram. Now, when you're working with the tens times table, it's not a great idea to be drawing 10 strawberries in all of these, because what happens is you get really fixated on drawing the diagram, and then the counting goes out the window, and then you look at me and you go, I can't remember where I've got to. So I'm going to show you a way that you can work out the tens drawing a diagram, but not quite how we drew them yesterday. So I've got 7 lots of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, instead of drawing the 10 strawberries, because we know that we know 10 is the same as the number 10, what we can do is we can just write the number 10 in each of these so that we can count them up. Then we can count up in our tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Make sure you're getting that clear, 70. It's 70, not 17. Okay, that would be if you'd added them together. All right, so make sure you have a go at doing those. You could draw an array, but again, an array when you're doing it for the 10 times table gets a little bit tricky because you've got lots of things to include. All right, so we've got our times table, and again, we have got our estate agent who wants information all about Holbury. Now, what we're going to be doing today is you are going to be planning a report. So a report is a non-fiction piece of writing. Now, luckily, you're all experts on Holbury because you know the area better than I do. In your packs, you've got a report plan that looks like this. I've already given you your title, and I've already given you some subheadings. Okay, so you've got introduction. How are you going to introduce Holbury to somebody? Shops, facilities. Facilities is a posh way of sort of saying the services that are there, so other things apart from the shops. KFC, you all love KFC. That's when we do geography, you all mention KFC. KFC might come in there. Things to do. Conclusion, we usually sort of put a sentence in for our conclusion. Doesn't need to be lots of writing in there. Now have a look. Today, this isn't about writing sentences. It's about writing our ideas down. So introduction, I would say that Holbury is a village. So I would write the word village in there. It's near the New Forest. So I would also write New Forest in there. Shops, I know there's Boots. And that's also a chemist, isn't it? We've got Co-op. You all usually like to remind me about Co-op. Facilities, so we've got KFC. We've got other places that we can eat. Try to think of some other things. Now, things to do in Holbury. There are places that we can go for a walk or a bike ride. So have a think about what you can do in Holbury. Try to put some adjectives in, but be careful with your adjectives, because often what we try to do is people try to write yummy KFC. Now, KFC food might be yummy, but is KFC the building yummy? Probably not. So try to be careful about the adjectives that you pick. Okay, but do pick some so that you can put those in to really lift your writing and really make it interesting. So have a go at doing your plan today so you're ready to do your writing in the next couple of days. I'll see you this afternoon. Take care, Yellow class.